Hey folks. Oh, hold on. I better adjust this. Hi there. Alright. Just had to take myself down a few notches there. How you doing? I usually don't have to do that at 5'6". Sam Flot here. What's up, folks? Coming at you with the year in Flot. 2012. Flashback to in history. This isn't really July 3rd, 2020. No, I am not isolating. I'm not at home trying to come up with ideas to keep me busy. I am making videos, people. It's 2012. These are my poems that I enjoyed the most from 2012. And that I wrote. Little caveat there. Maybe I will adjust this a tad bit here, folks. I'll go up a little bit. Okay. Read some poems from 2012. Living at Cobb Mountain, California with my wife Jocelyn in 2012. And this first one is interesting for nothing else other than it's July 4th, 2012. It was written. Going alphabetically for 2012. We will go in the correct order alphabetically for 2012. That was my plan. And this is called Around the Curve Ahead Of. And I don't know, it doesn't, it speaks to the times, I suppose. It has some words that we use. It's kind of interesting. A little more recently in topical times here. We, I don't know. I came across this when I was going through these, and I had it marked as one of the ones I liked from the year for sure, and I was trying to pick out a few to read, and it seemed like it made sense to start with this. Around the curve ahead of. However much it costs to go around the curve ahead of, flat and present circles, glistening in the early mask of dusk, alternating at the wind's insistent in and out of light and shade. First light, then shade, then light again, and then shade again. Standing strong and stern, listening to the sounds climb the valley to the top. And there is no absolute silence. The sounds never stop. Characters arrive or leave, in and on time or late. The trees and the rocks keep moving in threes and fours, and the wheel keeps turning. The road still lures. Using once again the old switch and bait. If it's shining like the sun's too good, then it probably is. The lights are on, but nobody's home. Everybody went down a rabbit hole excepting a rabbit. But now, in this moment, I see a lizard peeking out from behind the local educated elder tree stump. He's getting ready for his fall tradition, dipping himself into the Pacific peaceful water on the ocean's horizon. Going, giving, vision to passing ships and codependent convenience stores, slick supermarkets, raccoons and coffee shops. Dark until morning unleashes its morning birds. Underneath, all the brilliant, bright branches blowing in the daybreak. Winds are now silently correcting our mistakes. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Around the curve ahead of. Next up in the alphabet, the Poetic EMF file under fiction. This one I'm going to let it speak for itself. File under fiction. Everything that's ever been written is fiction, draping itself in the writer's perception. Swimming inside the illusion of truth, everything that's ever been written is fiction. Communicated with some form of description, relating ambiguously or with straight-up information, which passed through the writer's brain, down the neck, the arms, the hands, moving keys or pushing a pen. Words given to be hidden gifts for the reader's detection. Remember, all these thoughts are elusive perception. Everything that's ever been written is fiction. Okay. Hop into March. March 22, 2012. This is nobody in particular. It's nobody not in particular. I just blasted off a description of a sort of maybe a prototype deadhead that you might run into just whatever out going in Berkeley or San Francisco, somewhere in the Bay Area. Somebody that was pretty hardcore deadhead, and I threw down some horrible stereotypes about deadheads that I know, don't come from nowhere. That's all I can say. I know some deadheads. A couple here or there. Good people. This one's called Peculiar Julia, in the Boston accent. Peculiar Julia. Peculiar Julia, all wrapped up in patchouli and steelies. A little too touchy, a little too feely. Out in the field or in enclosed spaces, flashing back, she's following traces. Back to the days of those calliope races. Only the unimagined men remain stuck in stasis, exchanging their glances inside their own trances, as everybody like us just dances and dances. The lightning is lazy and so is the river. The bolts never fly from the lightning bolt quiver. The river she lies there, flat as a rug, being cut up by 10,000 bugs, who realize once they all drop their stances, they all dance until they find their own kinds of dances. The dervishes dervish and the spinners they spin. Seems like the hand dancers have curious grin. The pyramid peaks at the tippity top, each instrument stretching out the gnarly bebop. For one moment, suddenly, they all stop and be quiet, like they know once they start selling again, I'll buy it. Each guitar note is a whole tonal sound as you fly up to space and then back to the ground. May you never be hungry. May your soul always be fed. It's just like I remember my elders always said. There ain't nothing in the world like the Grateful Dead. Flot, March 22, 2012. A good year. We got married in 2012. Jocelyn and I got married July 21st, 7/21/2012. We got a anniversary coming up soon. We're just checking it out. Alright. Back here. Back in 2012 again. January, plenty of time to write. Wedding wasn't in the offing yet. And this one's called Pockets in Your Hands. Incompetent sentences outside the foxhound's grasp, sanctioning each cell for lack of focus. on the sleeping job, lying down. Caught dreaming on the job, pockets in your hands and feet on your shoes. When the next bus comes through, it won't stop. It never does for no pine cone podunk, with or without a sonnet or a prayer. It won't stop for no reductive farmer pulling up roots. No deductive accountant moving dates around with a number processor and a letter combine spitting into the open furnace. With no trace of paper, cycling or recycling, saving face of aluminum phrase, holding up paragraphs for days, distilled from partial, foggy remnants of circumstance and timing. Circumstance and timing. Circumstance and timing. Everybody heard it in the interim before the impartial signing. The sound of barred pen hitting barred paper, harder than 10 stenographers, sitting on a sea jar full of capers, split wide open, spilt all over, adding a little taste to the foolhardy fortune sandwich of the prototypical amateur protagonist. January 16, 2012, Sam Flot. Check it in. Alright, one more for you. 1/24/2012. Still plenty of time. Mind space. Not close enough to the wedding that I'm rattling off poems. This is called The Wick of a Spine. The wick of a spine runs up the wax of a candle. Nervous system, nerve center fulfilling the mission. Burning for light, burning for scent, burning for the visual. Eloquence melts down to liquid form from solid. The wick of a spine runs up the core, middle, nervous systematically, burning down the body, never sure of his limits, never sure how he got so lit. 1/24/2012, Sam Flot coming to you from the future, 2012, coming to you on the video, on the YouTube, surrounded by the color of the paintings that I made between 2012, pretty much about when I started painting probably, till now. Lots of them here. Not all of them are here. The house in Cobb did burn in 2015, so I lost a lot of paintings that I had worked on in those few years. And I still got a few of them though, because I had given some away to some friends. I gave them back. So that's pretty cool. I had a lot of good friends after that thing happened. That thing there. We'll talk about that in a few years. But it's still 2012. Good times. Cobb Mountain's wonderful. We were living up there. We absolutely loved it. Bopping around doing some different jobs. And then we settled in a while later somewhere else and worked. But that's in the future. That's coming. It's coming. Next year. I don't know. It might have been 2012. I forget. We worked at Harbin Hot Springs. Who knows? And then, okay, what happened was 12/31/2012 came. I don't remember what the hell I did. I would imagine we were probably at the Cotton Candy Castle for New Year's Eve. And anyway, that year, in 2012, changed over to 2013, and that's where we will find you next. We're coming to you with the year in Flot. 2012 signing off. See you next time in 2013. Yo. Double peace out.